Making headlines, President Dr. Mohamed Muiz lauds the transparent governance of Estonia, insisting that the island nation can learn important lessons from the Northern European nation. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reveals that the administration plans to fully digitalize the healthcare and education sectors during its term. And the national flag carrier Maldivian announces special promotional fares for its first direct flights to China using a wide-body aircraft. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz lauds the transparent governance of Estonia, insisting that the island nation can learn important lessons from the Northern European nation. Before concluding his historic official visit to Estonia, President Muiz on X said the progress the two nations achieved together during the visit remains highly encouraging. The President also hailed the visit as a new era of bilateral cooperation, reaffirmed by the merit of productive meetings and the MOUs signed on digitalization, environment and political consultation. The trip, made at the invitation of Estonian President Dr. Alar Karis, marks the first time a Maldivian president has visited the Baltic nation. During the trip, President Dr. Muiz engaged in multiple discussions with key Estonian leaders, including Estonian President, the President of Parliament, ministers, the Mayor of Tartu, representatives from academia and other prominent institutions in Estonia. These meetings are focused on aligning strategies and exploring avenues for collaboration. The President extended heartfelt gratitude for the government and people of Estonia, especially President Dr. Karis, for the warm welcome and generous hospitality extended to him and the Maldivian delegation. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz reveals that the administration plans to fully digitalize the healthcare and education sectors during its term. The President made this announcement in an interview with PSM News prior to his departure to the Maldives, following the conclusion of his official visit to Estonia. President Dr. Muiz's visit to Estonia commenced on 13 January upon the invitation of Estonian President Dr. Alar Karis. According to President, the primary focus of this visit was to gain insights into Estonia's advanced digital sector and explore potential collaborations. The digitalization of the healthcare sector would aim to revolutionize service delivery by leveraging digital technologies to enhance processes, improve patient care, and increase efficiency. Similarly, the digitalization of the education sector would seek to transform traditional teaching and learning methods by integrating digital technologies into all aspects of educational delivery. Speaking with PSM News, President Dr. Muiz underscored his commitment to digitalizing all aspects of public services. He said that the government's objective is to convert years of analog information into digital format, creating a comprehensive digital archive. He noted that the digitalization initiative is seen as a pivotal step towards transforming the Maldives into a developed country by 2040. According to the President, the goal is to expand our economy within the digital sector. He said that the objective is to achieve significant development over the next 5 years, ensuring that at least 15% of our GDP is derived from the digital economy. President also outlined his vision for developing the country's artificial intelligence AI sector, recognizing AI's pivotal role in national development. He highlighted the administration's efforts to develop a national AI master plan, which will be integral to national building efforts. Reflecting on his visit to Estonia, President Dr. Muiz described it as an enlightening experience, providing valuable insights into achieving digital transformation. He expressed gratitude for Estonia's commitment to assisting the Maldives in this endeavor, viewing it as a significant step towards realizing his vision for the country's digital sector. He further stressed the importance of digitalizing public services with a particular emphasis on the education and healthcare sectors. President Dr. Muiz noted Estonia's advancements in these areas with comprehensive digital solutions implemented in both sectors. He also highlighted Estonia's position as a leading country in preventative healthcare. President Dr. Muiz also reiterated his vision for the Maldives to become a nation where most public services are digitalized, a goal he believes can be achieved with the full support of the people during the remainder of his tenure. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz affirms that all nations are essential to the Maldives' development and reiterated his government's unwavering commitment to pursuing pathways that deliver the greatest benefits for the Maldivian people. In remarks made during an interview with PSM News following his official visit to Estonia, President Dr. Muiz expressed the pivotal role of international relations in advancing the nation's progress and asserted that the Maldives would advance along every path that promotes and ensures the country's development, provided it can safeguard its sovereignty and independence. President reaffirmed his administration's commitment to bolstering relations with both friendly nations and neighboring countries. He underscored the importance of neighboring countries, describing them as the Maldives' closest allies, and emphasized that this enduring reality would remain unchanged. The President also affirmed his dedication to exploring all avenues for national development, provided they do not compromise the nation's sovereignty and independence. President detailed the vision of his manifesto and the objectives of his administration. He conveyed his steadfast determination to fully realize the manifesto's vision during his tenure. President Dr. Muiz also highlighted the significance of international assistance in achieving national progress. He noted that while advancing on the path to benefit the Maldivian people, the support of other nations remains crucial. President Dr. Muiz traveled to Estonia on 13th January at the invitation of Estonian President Dr. Alar Karis. President Dr. Mohamed Muiz comments his official visit to Estonia as a crucial milestone in advancing his administration's vision of transforming the Maldives into a digitalized nation. Speaking to PSM News prior to his departure, President Dr. Muiz reflected on the importance of the visit, which began on 13th January at the invitation of Estonian President Dr. Alar Karis. According to the President, the primary objective of the visit was to gain insights into Estonia's advanced digital sector and explore potential collaborations. He described the visit as historic, noting it marked the first time a sitting Maldivian president had visited Estonia. The most notable achievement of the visit, according to President Dr. Muiz, was the opportunity to observe and comprehend the digitalization efforts of one of the world's leading countries in this sector. He underscored that his administration's manifesto is committed to transforming the Maldives into a digitalized nation. President underscored that the visit offered an invaluable opportunity to learn from and engage with experts in the field of digitalization. He expressed his gratitude for the significant assistance extended by Estonian President Dr. Karis and officials from the Estonian government and related sectors. During the visit, 3 Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) was signed between the Maldives and Estonia. President Dr. Muiz highlighted that similar to Maldives, Estonia also faces the challenges and dangers of climate change. He said that an agreement was signed between the two nations to collaborate on mitigating the negative impacts of climate change. Throughout his visit, President Dr. Muiz engaged in high-level discussions with several prominent figures of the Estonian government, including Kristina Kallas, Minister of Education and Research, Yoko Alender, Minister of Climate, and Riina Sikkut, Minister of Health. Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal reveals a major breakthrough in the government's ongoing efforts to reopen and resume operations of Shangri-La Resort and Spa in the south, adding that a solution will be found this year. Known for its luxurious standards, Shangri-La Resort offers 284 beds, including 60 water villas, 26 beach villas, 28 pool villas, 16 tree houses, and 2 presidential villas spread across 550,000 square meters. The resort originally began operations with a 30% government stake and 70% ownership by Addu Investment Private Limited, a joint venture established to manage the property alongside the government. However, following its closure due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, the government relinquished its shares in August 2023. The closure resulted in significant job losses for many residents of Addu who are eagerly waiting for the resorts reopen. Reopening the Shangri-La Resort and Spa is a key presidential pledge of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. Minister Faisal revealed that the Attorney General has now issued the necessary notices to the resort operator, adding that the long overdue solution will be found this year. He said that his ministry will have to see the place to know how much time it will take for renovations. He also reiterated the need for direct international flights to Addu City to operationalize the Shangri-La Resort, adding that negotiations were already underway. The Minister of Construction, Housing and Infrastructure, Dr. Abdullah Muttalib, issues a stark warning to everyone who had acquired lands or flats from social housing schemes through fraudulent means. Allegations of fraud and scams in social housing schemes have long been rampant in the island nation. Manipulation of marks or tampering with the recipient's list remains grievances of the public. The recent allegations of fraud and forgery in the previous government's Bimvaria and Gedorvaria scheme has exacerbated public outcry. Minister Muttalib told reporters that in addition to the allegations of fraud within state institutions over such schemes, criminal elements within society have scammed dozens of people out of their life savings in the name of awarding land or flats. The minister warned that the government will not hesitate to seize any ill-gotten flat or land. He insisted that the construction of the boundary wall or lands and handover of flats acquired through illicit means will not be safe from seizure. The minister said housing remains the primary concern of society, adding that this administration will not tolerate corruption or fraud in any way or form, especially within state institutions. Maldives Police Service MPS has revealed that its investigations had found that the documents related to the disputed Bimvaria scheme were submitted to the Housing Development Corporation Limited HDC by individuals who had not applied for land under the scheme. The Minister of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage, Adam Nasir Ibrahim, reveals plans to organize special activities for young poets this year to showcase their talents. Speaking during the ceremony to celebrate this year's National Poets Day, the minister said this administration launched several initiatives to revive poetry and inspire young poets in the country with the assistance from interested individuals and civil society organizations. He said that this year will be a year of teaching poetry skills to poets in a bid to inspire and encourage young poets. The minister in his remarks highlighted the Poets' Day message of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. The minister urged everyone to work now and in the future to utilize the sentiments of poetry for the education and upbringing of children by encouraging patriotism and reviving morality. The National Poets' Day is celebrated annually on 15th January. This day is celebrated in remembrance of renowned poet Ibrahim Shihab. This year's Poets' Day has been dedicated to esteemed poet and linguist Abdullah Sadiq. The national flag carrier Maldivian announces special promotional fares for its first direct flights to China using a wide-body aircraft. According to Maldivian, the wide-body aircraft will operate 3 weekly flights to 3 major destinations in China: Shanghai, Chengdu, and Beijing. The inaugural flight is scheduled for Chengdu on 22nd January, followed by Beijing on 24th and Shanghai on 27th. Additional flights to each destination are planned for 30th January, 1st February, and 4th February, respectively. The special fare prices for these flights are as follows: Male to Chengdu, return fare $688. Male to Beijing, return fare $788. Male to Shanghai, return fare $777. Maldivian said a generous baggage allowance of 40 kg and in-flight meals are included in the fare price. The promotional fare is applicable on the first 2 flights to each destination only and is aimed at providing passengers the opportunity to experience Maldivian's services at an affordable price. The wide-body aircraft used for these flights have 3 cabin classes with 18 seats in business class, 36 in premium economy, and 210 in economy. The total seating capacity on the aircraft is 264. Maldivian's expansion to the Chinese market is aimed at boosting international connectivity and promoting Maldives as a top tourism destination. While China remains one of the leading source markets for Maldives tourism, Maldivian describes the development as an important step to further strengthen tourism relations between China and Maldives. U.S. stocks dips as a jump in the prior session cooled while investors eyed the most recent corporate earnings and gauged economic data to determine the path of Federal Reserve rate cuts. The benign reading on inflation calmed fears about a renewal in price pressures, and strong bank earnings helped the 3 major U.S. indices notch their biggest one-day percentage gain since November 6th on Wednesday. Economic data on Thursday indicated consumer spending remains strong, while the labor market is also on solid footing given the Fed's cushion to keep a slow pace in cutting interest rates this year. The S&P 500 lost 12.57 points or 0.21% to end at 5,974.34 points, while the Nasdaq Composite lost 173.94 points or 0.89% to 19,338.29. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 68.42 points or 0.16% to 43,153.13. The leader of Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis, Abdul Malik al-Houthi, says his group will monitor the implementation of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas aimed at ending the 15-month war in Gaza and continue its attacks if it is breached. The Houthis, who had on an almost weekly basis targeted ships using ballistic missiles and drones in waters near Yemen's shores to show their solidarity with the Palestinians, had long said they would cease their operations if the conflict ended. The ceasefire is expected to take hold on Sunday, January 19th. The Houthis have carried out more than 100 attacks on ships since November 2023 and have sunk 2 vessels, seized another, and killed at least 4 seafarers. The intensity of the attacks has disrupted global shipping and prompted route changes. Thursday's announcement was a setback after earlier expectations among some maritime security sources that the group would halt attacks on ships. Manchester City announces that Erling Haaland has signed a 10-year contract with which it will keep him at the club until 2034. Haaland's contract was set to expire in June 2027, but the 24-year-old winner of the league's Golden Boot for most goals scored in the last 2 seasons could be set to stay at the club until the age of 34.
Yeah, I'm super happy. I'm proud, and it's difficult to put words on because it is a big moment and everything. And who I am is I am happy, and that's the right words to use. So I'm super proud and happy, and I look forward to staying there for a long time.
The Norwegian, who has signed from Borussia Dortmund in 2022, has netted 111 goals in 126 matches for City, winning the treble of the Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League in his debut season under manager Pep Guardiola.
I'm going to stay for a long time, so now I can fully focus on getting better, because I'm going to stay for such a long time. So full focus on performing, on getting better, and to give all the fans what they want.
Haaland broke records in his first season in England, netting 36 goals in his debut Premier League campaign and 52 in all competitions. He scored 27 league goals last season as City won a 4th consecutive Premier League title, while he has netted 16 so far this season. A SpaceX Starship prototype fails minutes after launching from Texas, setting back the company's speedy rocket development efforts in a mission that was expected to debut a key satellite deployment demonstration. SpaceX's Starship system, a heavily upgraded version, standing roughly 37 stories tall, lifted off from the company's Boca Chica, Texas launch facilities in the company's 7th such test attempt this year. SpaceX Mission Control in Texas lost control with Starship 8 minutes into flight after it separated in space from the Super Heavy first stage booster, SpaceX communications manager Dan Hood said on a live stream.
We did lose all communications with the ship, so I mean that is essentially telling us that we had an anomaly with that upper stage. So we were just coming up to the end of that ascent burn for the ship when we stopped when we started to lose a couple of the engines. We saw those dropping out, and then we did lose telemetry from the ship, so that means we didn't have contact with it. So at this point, we are assuming that the ship has been lost.
The Starship upper stage, 2 meters taller than previous versions, was a new generation ship with significant upgrades, SpaceX said in a mission description prior to the test. It was due to make a controlled splashdown in the Indian Ocean roughly an hour after its launch from Texas.
As we were checking in on the status of the ship, at this point in time we can confirm that we did lose the ship. However, Starship, the total vehicle, did have an on-time liftoff at 4:37 p.m. Central Time from the launch pad just behind us at Starbase Texas. Gorgeous ascent and successful stage separation. The booster pushed the ship off, and the ship disconnected during that stage separation. The booster came back for a successful, the second ever booster catch at the launch tower, which was pretty incredible to see.
SpaceX has not seen a Starship second stage fail since its second test mission in March last year, when the rocket was re-entering Earth's atmosphere and broke apart. The towering Super Heavy booster, meanwhile, returned to its launch pad roughly 7 minutes after liftoff as planned, slowing its descent from space by reigniting its Raptor engines as it hooked itself on giant mechanical arms fixed to a launch tower. And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.